So you've killed a plant. Don't worry, I have too. I've killed plenty of plants in my time, and I have some tips and tricks for you on how to stop killing your plants. I'm Lauren Kane, I'm the founder of Elm Dirt, and we specialize in organic plant care and growing plants naturally, and I've learned a lot of tips and tricks along the way. So there are three things that are usually most common for people that kill plants. So one is watering. So overwatering especially is a really good way to kill plants. Then your soil health is another way, and light, that's another one. So let's dive into those and let's get into it, and let's see how we can stop killing our plants, because we all hate it when our plants die. So watering. I am notorious for overwatering my plants. I get root rots, and darn it, I shouldn't have done it this time. But how you can stop doing that is you need to let your soil dry out. I water at the same time every week, and that's not exactly the best way to do it, because you want to be checking each plant to see how wet or dry it is. If it's wet on top, don't water it, because then you're gonna leave yourself open for root rot. The test for making sure it's time to water is to stick your finger down an inch deep into the soil and see if you still feel wet. Now, there's a little bit of wiggle room. Feeling wet is a little bit subjective, but if it's soggy, you know it. If it's absolutely bone dry, you know it. And if it's anywhere in between, just make a judgment call and then go ahead and water it thoroughly. So every plant needs a cycle of drying out in between each session and making sure that it's getting a little bit of just dryness on its roots so that it doesn't get that root rot. And so leaving it soggy, it leaves you open to it. But you also don't want it to not have water, because plants thrive on water, and if it doesn't have water, then it starts to wilt. And once wilt gets bad enough, it's not going to spring back from that. Number two, soil health. So a lot of the soil that you buy in a garden center is dead soil. It's inert. It doesn't have any microbes to it, and maybe it has some good nutrients to it, but a lot of times it's just junk. Some of them have mushrooms, some of them have fruit flies. I have heard and seen all sorts of stories of soil that people have bought in the store, and I'm here to tell you that there is a better way. So your foundation should be mostly something like a compost, and then 20% of it should be lighter, like with some nutrients to it, like our ancient soil. Maybe some perlite mixed in, and we have our all-purpose that makes it easy so you don't have to mix your own. There are some good brands out there, but it is a lot of times hard to find it in a big box store. And so you want to make sure that you have a good soil that is well draining, but also full of those natural nutrients and microbes that help you do your job of growing your plants. Because those little microbes are going to work between the plant roots. They're going to give the plants what it needs when it needs it, and they're also going to protect those plants from harmful microbes and everything, even in your indoor plants, which makes your job a lot easier. And then you also want it to be able to grow roots easily through there. So if you've got rock solid soil, it's not going to grow the roots easily, and you're going to have a lot of problems with the roots. And then on number three, we have light. If your plants aren't getting enough light, they are not going to be thriving. So if you notice your plants are starting to stretch towards the sun, I've got a plant behind me that is stretching towards the sun, but it has nice space between the leaves, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you see a lot of stems sticking out, that means that it's not close enough to the sun, and if it doesn't get enough sunlight, that's how plants work. They need sunlight to live. And some plants do better farther from the windows, and some plants need to be right up against the window so that they're happy. Now, if you overwater your plants, don't worry. There is a way to fix it. So if you unpot your plant and you pull it out and you look at those roots and they're all mushy and everything, trim off the bad ones. So just start trimming away, get rid of them, clean out all the bad dirt, and then replace it. And go ahead and repot it with those roots trimmed, and hopefully it'll start regrowing those roots and get them back to healthy. Now, if you've got yellowing leaves, that's going to give you a sign that there is an issue with your watering. Maybe you're overwatering, maybe you're underwatering. You've got to use that finger test to test it and see which one it is. And then if you're getting brown and crispy leaves, a lot of times that is because it's a plant that likes humidity and it needs more humidity, and maybe it's the wintertime and it's really dry in your environment, and so there are humidifiers you can put next to your plants to help them do that. If you're seeing it and you're like, it's not exactly dry, or you're here in the summer and it's humid, like it is here in Kansas City, it can also be from your tap water. And so there's chlorine in your tap water from when it gets processed at a water treatment plant. And that can also cause this brown crustiness on the edge of your leaves. Now, we always say with our products that we recommend using dechlorinated water, and I always get this question, well, how do I get dechlorinated water if I don't buy distilled water from the store and I don't want to buy water? Well, there is an easy way. If you just leave tap water to sit out for 24 hours, so fill that watering can the next time you go to water your plants. Just fill it up and leave it, and then you'll have dechlorinated water when you come back the next time, and that plants are really sensitive to that, and that'll help with the brown crispy edges. You have like a vitamin C tablet that actually will deschlorinate the water too for you very quickly. That's much cheaper than buying distilled water on your own. There is dechlorinators that fit on the edges of and hoses that you can use as well. That costs money. I find it easiest just to set water out and use that myself. I'm gonna have a huge jug in our office that we just let sit and dechlorinate, and then it's ready to pour into those smaller cans with the chlorinated water. Plants really love it, microbes really love it, and I highly suggest using that with your plants. Now, if you have any more questions on how to take care of plants, drop a comment below and talk to us and let us know if you have killed a plant, first of all, and what happened, and if you saved a plant, let us know too, because we've heard some amazing plant transformation stories and I want to hear yours.